Let me out! Hey! Hear me!
Give it a rest. No one's coming.
I feel like we're going to be crushed here.
Don't worry, we won't. Any crushing will be done later by the executioner.
Oh, what a relief to hear that. Listen here, Henry. I wanted to say, well, that I'm glad to see you again.
Oh yeah?
Give over.
After all, as you know, I'm just a common dung grubber, while you're the great Bellatore.
Bellator. But I was stupid to think like that. It was stupid. But now I'm sitting here too for behaving like a Bellator. I might have left you in it.
Yeah.
And nevertheless, Henry, I wanted to say that, well, you were right. I behaved...
All right. I accept your apology.
Thanks. So, what were you getting up to the whole time anyway?
I was working in the blacksmith's forge in Takov.
Oh, well, lucky for you, you have a trade you could work at.
Sort of. Most of the time I was actually chasing after lost carts, or scrambling over the rocks looking for hermits.
Well, at least you weren't bored, eh?
What about you?
I also stuck to what I'm best at.
What, boozing and whoring?
Fucking ha. Hunting.
Where did you get the gear for that? We arrived in Troskowitz like a pair of beggars.
By using the old noggin, pal. I pulled a strong thread out of those rags I had on, made a snare for game, and before you could say jackrabbit, I was hawking half a dozen hares around the local cottage.
Weren't you worried about the local gamekeeper?
That nitwit! I found out he was fond of the booze, so I snooped around his lodge, and when sleeping it off, I went hunting. Once.
Thieving, too, to top it all. Christ!
Oh, give over. Once things are sorted out, I'll give it all back. Shh, quiet! There's something going on outside the door.
Have you seen Captain Thomas? Yarrick says he's in a bad way.
He's right. Them fuckers cut him up good.
Last I heard from Father Nicodemus, though, was that his wounds are healing.
Aye. Only he's been struck down by a fever. And the Sawbones is away with Sir Otto.
Good God!
Captain Thomas! Yes! He met us before we reached the pond, didn't he? We showed him our letter.
But he's in a fever. You heard them.
Oh, we'll deal with that somehow. Hey!
Leave it be.
Hey! Open up, you rabble! We're messengers from Ratai. Your captain can confirm it. Do you hear?
Again?
Those damned fools won't give us any peace.
Come on, fellas! Be reasonable. We're envoys of the Lord of Lipa.
About time. Just you wait till Lord von Berghoff hears how you treat a noble.
You, come with me to the courtyard. Chamberlain says we ain't gonna waste bread on you for nothing. We've got a job for you.
What about me? I want to talk to the captain right now.
You want to talk to God, fella. You're getting the gallows for poaching.
What? But you can't hang a nobleman.
Jesus, wait! Hear that? That bell's tolling for you, mate. 12 more times, and the priest will come for you. Hans!
But you can't!
Hans, don't worry, I'll fix it! Move it!
I'm a nobleman! You hear me? I'm a noble! I'm Sir Hans Capon of Bergstein.
So, if you want to get out of here, you'll have to make amends and work off your debt. For a start, you can carry all the charcoal from this wagon up to the store.
Wait, though. What's going to happen with Capon?
With that madman? He was poaching, so he'll swing.
But he really is a noble.
Ain't you a bit old for fairy tales, son? Once the bell tolls for the 12th time, it won't matter a damn who he used to be anyway. If you want to do something for him, pray. And best pretend you don't know him.
Your Captain Thomas can testify that we're envoys from Rattay. It's the truth, I swear.
Don't you say a word about our captain. We don't know if the poor fella will live to see morning. They moved him during the night to the chapel at the very top of the Maiden. It seems only God can help him now.
And can I go there? I really have to talk with Captain Thomas.
Don't fucking annoy me, fella. You got off lightly so far, believe me.
What? You won't even let me pray in the chapel?
We will not. You're not allowed inside at all. And don't let me catch you snooping around there.
Why did they move your captain to the chapel? All that way up?
So he'd be closer to God. Either the good Lord will help him or take him to his bosom. The captain's in a really bad way. And our Sawbones is away with Lord von Bergov.
What about my things? You took everything away from me.
That's what happens to people in jail. When we set you free, you'll get your stuff back. In the worst case, we might keep something to cover the damages you caused at the wedding.
Got it. Do you always ring the bells before an execution?
Aye, it's a local custom. They say back in the past, the local lord slept through a scheduled execution, and they had to release the condemned man. Don't worry, that won't happen today.
What happens when I'm done with this?
What do you reckon? You'll get another job, and when there's no more work for you, you can bugger off wherever you like.
That's all?
Aye? What'd you expect? The axe? Lord von Bergov is strict, but he ain't a tyrant. But poaching now, that's another matter.
I'll get to work then.
Good lad. The store's up by the gate to the inner bailey. Orsina the blacksmith is idling around somewhere there. He'll think up some job for you. Or go down to the outer bailey where they're building the scaffold near the gate. They'll be working up there for sure. And no wandering around where you're not allowed. Don't stick your nose inside the castle. Got it?
Yeah. Got it.
Huh? What? Did I what? Who's there?
This place?
Quick! Over there.
Pardon me for disturbing you, miss.
If you want to pray, go somewhere else. The chapel is closed. Unless you're a priest,
Please.
which I presume you're not.
No, I'm not. My name is Henry.
I'm Adela, Thomas's sister. What is it you want, Henry?
I need to talk to your brother.
No chance of that. He's been lying in a fever for 3 days, and the surgeon is away with Sir Otto. Unless he returns soon, Thomas won't be talking to anyone ever again.
On the right, Yannick.
Oh, Christ. But this is a matter of life and death. Thomas is the only one who can testify to what happened.
Yes! It's a matter of life and death for my brother. I want him to rest. Besides which, he's delirious and can't tell you anything.
What actually happened to him?
They were attacked by bandits by the pond.
Over there.
His mare, Arrow, brought him home. He was completely out of it. And little wonder, the way he was hacked up. If the surgeon was here, he'd be in his care.
No, please.
Some of his wounds have healed, but now he has a fever. He's been bedridden For 3 days.
I'm sorry. Maybe I could help somehow?
The only one who can help now is the priest. And I don't want to sound gloomy, but all he can do is pray too. Just the same as me.
Where's the physician?
He's with Lord von Berghoff. When Thomas started to get feverish, he left some concoction for him. He was only meant to be gone for a while, but it seems they got stuck somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, the concoction ran out.
On the right, Yannick.
I'm not a physician, but I could try and brew that concoction. It can't hurt to try. Do you know what it was brewed from?
If I knew that, I'd have brewed it myself. Not even our surgeon knows. He does everything according to his books. He uses some medical manuscript, whether he's treating people or livestock.
And where is this book?
How should I know? Probably in his chambers, in the Crone.
I'll have a look there then.
But no one is allowed there.
I'll figure it out somehow.
Why do you want to help
Everyone
us?
to me. You there?
Out of Christian charity.
Don't joke with me.
The world needs some goodness. After all, you must have had a good reason for dragging Thomas up all those stairs. Sometimes it pays off to try and get closer to heaven.
Are you trying to tell me that you're a priest?
No, I'm not. But God moves in mysterious ways.
Yes, you're right.
I'll get going then. I don't have much time, and neither does Thomas.
Go. And thank you.
Watch out on the right. Yannick.
Was so here you are. Now I've got you.
I surrender! Enough!
Felt like doing a bit of robbery, did you? Snoop for now.
All right, I'll...
Now.
All right.
All right, then that's that. I've had enough. You're under arrest. Halt.
The third toll. I better get moving.
Lord be with you. What do you need?
What if my soul is burdened with sin? Is there a way to cleanse it?
Of course, son. You can redeem yourself with an indulgence, or take the path of repentance and atone for your sins with a pilgrimage. It will improve your reputation with people, but beware. Making a pilgrimage does not erase your crimes in the eyes of the law, nor does it release you from paying a fine. And you, if I'm not mistaken, have a few, come find me when you have atoned for your world. Till we meet again. If you're after some leftovers, the kitchen's up top. I don't think there's much there.
Scrub you're after. You left.
I suppose you're waiting here for a bite to eat.
Damn right. Like, I know they're preparing a banquet for his nibs, but they could have left one cook here. Or at least a bit of gruel, for Christ's sake.
I can see if I've got anything.
Hey, I need some...
You might be surprised.
Thanks. Well, at least I won't starve.
You're welcome. Enjoy it.
What?
You? What in God's name are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same question.
I work.
Who are you, actually?
Me? I'm just cleaning here.
And what were you doing at the pond, then?
I thought we straightened that out the last time you bothered me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
What's your name?
What's it to you?
I'm Henry.
Well, that's nice for you.
And you are?
I already told you. I'm a maid here.
We both know you're lying. The question is, why?
Says someone who was just sitting in a jail cell and will end up right back there if anyone calls the guards on him.
They let me out. I have to work off my sentence.
Really? Here. And what kind of important work would that be?
I have to help Captain Thomas. I'm looking for some medicine for him.
Thomas? I brought water to him in the tower. And I can tell you he is beyond help. That poor sister of his.
Well, you look like you know your way around here. Maybe you can help me.
Why should I?
I'm not stupid. You've no business here. You're snooping around in the surgeon's stuff and God knows what else. It could land you in trouble.
Oh, yeah? How?
Well, for instance, I could take something here. Don't forget, I might be slaving here today, but tomorrow they'll get fed up with me and they'll probably kick me out by morning. And you'll still be here. So it'll be on you. For sure someone saw you coming here.
And you too, no?
That's definitely an interesting point. But tell me.
No. I'll tell you nothing. And now get out of my way. Simple maid like me has lots of work to do in this castle.
I must have taken it off the fire too early.
Hope it lasts.
You're that horrible man!
Gotcha, fella!
Arrest him! My God! He disappeared that way! Get after him! Did you get it?
Yeah.
It will have to be diluted. His fever is getting worse. If this doesn't work, I don't think he'll last long.
You all to be vigilant. These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws and bandits roaming the country. And we have one of those vermin here today. A fella called Hans, who is clearly not right in the head. A dangerous madman, a brawler, and a thug, the worst of all, a poacher. And so, for the damages he caused to our dear Lord Otto von Berghoff, he is sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead.
You can't execute this man. He's a noble. Captain Thomas here will testify that we're messengers from Ratoi.
What is this nonsense, for Christ's sake?
It's true. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
Deal with it, for God's sake!
But sir, the captain!
Captain Thomas has a fever. He's clearly delirious. Seize them immediately.
You can't do this! I am a nobleman, do you hear? A noble! Get your hands off me! You can't do this!
My lord.
What the hell is going on?
It was just a... It's a hanging.
You can't hang him. He's a noble.
That's for me to judge. Take him down! And for Christ's sake, help me off this horse! You may enter. His lordship is expecting you.
So, you're messengers from Ratai, huh? I was wondering when someone would turn up. All right, then. Let's hear it.
My respects, Sir Otto. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, and this is Henry of Skalitz, my escort.
Welcome to Trotsky, gentlemen. I'd greet you standing up as befits, but I'm glad I can even sit at the moment.
I heard you were ambushed by outlaws.
You heard right. Those bastards did a job on me. And I got out luckier than most. Almost all the others were killed, including my page and my surgeon. So there is no one here to heal me, and I will have to inform poor Albert's father that his son died in my service.
I hope your health will soon be restored, sir.
We shall see. But now, you tell me what happened here in Herrgottsnamen. Why did my chamberlain try to hang you, Lord Capon?
In truth, the welcome we got from your Master Chamberlain was somewhat... how shall I put it? Well, it was somewhat unexpected. I must say, it was the first time I had a noose around my neck, and it wasn't the most pleasant experience.
Please, accept my apologies, sir. And that of my chamberlain, too. Is that not so, Ulrich? I must say in his defense that he had my orders not to admit anyone to the castle, and to be cautious.
I understand, sir. At home, some bandits got into Tamberg by subterfuge, and it cost us a lot of effort to reconquer it.
I'm glad you understand. Anyway, let us leave this misunderstanding aside and get to the point. As far as I'm aware, Ratai showed no interest in negotiations before, either with me or with the League of Lords.
True. Our houses have thus far stood on opposite sides.
I should say so. Attacking Brno and Jihlava together with that renegade Sokol of Lemberg hardly inspired our sympathy. But let us leave that aside. Tell me, what does Sir Hanush have on his mind? I am all ears.
Unfortunately, during the ambush, we lost the letter we were carrying, so you'll have to make do with my word of mouth.
All right. Go ahead and speak.
In brief, Sir Hanush, Sir Radzig, and other lords take the view that the situation has got out of control. And that's of no benefit to anyone in Bohemia, neither Wenceslas's supporters or the League of Lords. King Sigismund's actions will not lead to instilling greater order than under King Wenceslas. Quite the contrary.
Let us say that maybe. What arises from it?
Sir Hanush and the other lords on our side are interested in knowing what the stance of the League of Lords is at this moment, and whether they haven't perhaps reevaluated some things.
In other words, whether I might betray Sigismund.
I wouldn't be so bold as to suggest that, sir. We are merely interested in whether you would sit down at the negotiating table with us. It's necessary to discuss the future of the kingdom, whether it's to be a common one or not.
Huh. The future is still a long way off for me, Lord Capon. Nonetheless, Sir Hanush and Sir Radzik are right. There is disorder and anarchy in the land. Bandits riding roughshod all over. As we all know, to our cost.
We've had plenty of experience of that at home too, sir. Only a short time ago we had to deal with a similar band.
Then you will surely understand that before I begin debating who would be the better king, I must sweep my own doorstep. Only I'm damned if I know how to do that, since those bastards have wiped out half of my garrison, including my captain.
If I may be so bold, sir, you're not the only one. We also have a score to settle with them, so Henry and I will gladly help you.
Is that so? Now that is what I call the words of a knight, Sir Hans.
Right now, we've got a common enemy, so we have common interests too.
So then, sir, may we be of assistance to you?
Indeed, you may. Perhaps in the end we may really find some common ground. I need to muster sufficient reserves to deal with those outlaws once and for all. I'm summoning my vassals here to Trotsky. And since I don't have many men left to send as messengers, I will gladly accept your help.
Just say the word, sir. Where should we go?
You'll go to Nebakov, a small castle, or rather a fortress among the cliffs. The yeoman there, Jaromir Nebak, is an old hardhat and may not be very willing to fulfill his obligations. It would be useful if an eloquent noble like yourself visited him to explain him clearly why I need his whole garrison.
Is that all, sir?
It's no simple task. Knowing Jaromir, if I sent a common messenger, he'd come back with a boot print on his backside. Dealing with the lower nobility can be tricky. They tend to be fixated on their own somewhat fragile status.
Who is this Lord Nebak?
The lord of a smaller house with not much in the way of estates, just a fortress and lands, but he also owns a mill that provides a significant part of his income. His children are grown up. His daughter married well, thanks to Sir Otto. His son is away from the domain, dealing with duties. Sir Otto helped him to acquire an official position. In short, the House of Nebak is more than beholden to Sir Otto for his magnanimous help and support.
Thank you, Ulrich. Nevertheless, I suspect Jaromir will not be keen to charge into battle. But that is of little consequence. He has a few good men who will be useful. That will do us. If he delivers, I will regard his obligation as fulfilled.
What should we do if he's unwilling to heed what we say?
His house has always been loyal to mine. And it has always been more than worth their while. So tell him that I would like it to remain so. I do not expect any great obstacles, but it would be wise to show Sir Jaromir respect by sending him someone of status. He will take his time over being persuaded, and then concur, as he always has done.
I'll get to him somehow, sir.
I expect nothing less from you.
Is the route safe?
As I said, the fortress is in the wilderness amongst the cliffs. There are many places where outlaws may be hiding, so watch out.
Don't worry, sir. I have Henry here by my side for such situations.
We'll take care of it, sir. Count on us.
All right. We'll head out as soon as possible. Let's not delay our diplomatic mission unnecessarily.
Very well. I think that is all for now. The Chamberlain will show you where you can put your heads down, and he will supply you with horses. And once we have resolved this little digression, we shall talk about your own mission.
Thank you, sir.
May I ask something, Sir Otto?
Oh. Ask away, young man.
When you were ambushed, did you see those bandits? Would you recognize any of them?
Henry, don't start with that again.
Why do you ask?
The thing is, when we were ambushed, I believe I saw among them one of the men we ran up against at home.
Oh. What did he look like? Do you know his name?
He's called Istvan Toth, a Hungarian noble. He wears black armor. A stocky fella, around 40.
I've already told you that's nonsense. How would he be here? You only saw him from a distance, from behind. You're imagining it.
And why does this Toth interest you, young man?
He was the leader of a band that made trouble for us in Sasau. And he has something that belongs to me.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. But I must disappoint you. I saw no one of that description.
Thank you, sir. And sorry. I had to ask.
I understand. And now I shall entrust you to the care of Uri here. And I shall look forward to the good tidings you bring me from Nebakov. Go with God, gentlemen.
Thank you for everything, sir. The Lord be with you.
There will be time enough yet for social niceties. Now there are more practical matters to deal with. Sir Otto has generously agreed to accommodate Lord Capon in one of his chambers. And you, Henry, shall also be accommodated, as befits your station. Furthermore, his lordship has kindly decided that you may take one of our horses, and naturally your equipment shall be returned to you. So, Sir Hans, allow me to...
Hold on, Sir Ulrich. If you think everything is settled between us, and we're going to act like nothing happened, then you're mistaken.
Sir?
You were going to have me executed a short while ago. I expect a proper apology.
Then please accept my apology once more, sir. But given the circumstances...
Given the circumstance? What circumstances?
Sir, poaching is a capital offence.
And are you the king? That you can hand down death sentences? No, you are not. What's more, you had plenty of reasons to realise it wasn't a good idea.
Sir, I could not have realised that.
You couldn't have realised? Yes, you could, but then you wouldn't have been able to play the Lord and stage private executions.
Sir, once more I apologise. And now, please allow me to show you to your quarters.
I wouldn't dream of inconveniencing you. I'll find my quarters by myself. Henry, once you're done with that annoying fool, get your horse and we'll meet at the gate.
Well, it seems Lord Capon will not be requiring my services anymore today.
Please excuse him. He's been through a lot, as I'm sure you understand.
It is understandable, of course. I was just hoping that our relationship would be a bit warmer after that, regrettable misunderstanding. Nevertheless, welcome to Trusky, the finest and biggest castle you shall ever see. Rumor has it that the castle was built on the jaws of hell, and that we're sometimes plagued by demons here. But don't believe a word of it. It's just idle talk to excuse the servants' laziness and incompetence. It's demanding enough keeping everything here running smoothly without any of that. It requires a man of exceptional qualities and talents. By the way, this place is a maze for strangers. It's very easy to get lost. The jail cells are down there. But I believe you are already fairly well acquainted with that part of the castle, aren't you?
All too well, thanks.
But the answer's obvious. Together, that way, you'll keep an eye on the lad, and you'll even have someone to carry you home.
Here it is. You'll find a bed inside, opposite the door, and a chest where we put your belongings. You'll find some new clothing there, a little gift from our gracious lord, to ensure you're not mistaken for a beggar again. Once you're settled in and properly dressed, stop by the stables. They're beyond the gate, down the path. Ask for Kabat. He was supposed to prepare a horse and tack for you.
Thanks. I'm grateful.
As you should be. So, you and I are finished, and I can finally attend to some proper work, so this castle doesn't fall on our heads.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Greetings, Master Guard.
The Lord be with you. What do you need?
I hear you have a horse for me.
Aye, someone mentioned I should give you one. Herring here. He ain't the fastest, but he'll work his little heart out, and he'll keep going for fucking ages. And he's a well-behaved, smart animal as well. An honest stock, too. From the Sameen stud farm. Not one of them stolen nags that's seen around these parts. I've heard that wind is blowing from them dodgy nomads.
There are nomads around here.
Aye. I hear their camp is somewhere in the rocks by Rock Tower Pond. They've got horses there. God knows how they came by them.
Well, useful to know. So I can avoid such places.
Well, let's not forget about your horse. He's there in the stables, so go and get him. You do know how to ride, don't you?
Ah, don't worry. I'm right at home with horses. The main thing is to spur him on as fast as he can go. And when he can't keep it up, press him on, so he'll endure more next time. Spurs are a horseman's best friend.
Christ, fella, you don't know shit. It's a shame I have to give Herring to the likes of you. He deserves a better master. Now listen well, or I'll put the spurs into you. The first thing is, pet him now and again when you're in the saddle. Then he'll be calmer, looser. Actually, best do that as soon as you mount him. Once you're mounted, don't drive him too much over tough terrain. He won't trot too good, and he won't move too fast neither. After all, the roads ain't for show. And horses ain't stupid, mind. If you leave him standing around, he'll most likely go and find a place he likes. A trough where he can drink, or maybe some pasture. So don't be surprised if you leave him alone and then can't find him afterwards.
All right. I'll bear that in mind.
And of course, the horse needs good kit. No more than yourself. Saddle, bridle, horseshoes. I've prepared some decent tack for you, so I don't get my arse whipped for not treating his lordship's honoured guest right. Mistakes don't go unpunished here. You can tack him up yourself, right?
Sure. Thanks.